My wife cheated on me after asking for an open marriage. So I left her. I've been grappling with my existence for years now, and at this point, I can't even tell the difference between right and wrong. I don't blame anyone but myself for getting to this place. I let my wife do whatever she wanted, just to keep our marriage happy. I kept going down that road even though I didn't like it, all because I wanted to make her happy. I needed a place to pour my heart out without holding anything back. So here it is, I let my wife sleep with other men just to keep her happy. I've been married to my wife, Helena, for 30 years. We've known each other for 39. Helena is my best friend's sister, and we've always shared a big social circle full of friends and acquaintances. At first, we dated other people, but nearly 2 decades later, we fell in love and eventually got married. We had a beautiful wedding. Our social circles overlapped, and we'd known each other for so long that everything felt natural. In the early years of our marriage, we didn't face any serious challenges. We had the usual small disagreements, nothing out of the ordinary. But eventually, Helena started saying our life was boring. She kept complaining that our relationship was growing stale. It took me a while to figure out what she really wanted. Eventually, we started doing everything we could to spice things up. We went out more, took walks together, went on vacations, attended parties, all the stuff we used to do when we were dating. Strangely enough, she never clearly told me what she really wanted from me. She just kept saying she was bored. When I asked what she wanted to do, she said she wanted to try new things to make our sex life more exciting. So I did my research and came up with different ways to spice things up. We started experimenting with sex toys, got into kink, brought in whips, collars, and eventually drifted into BDSM. We even took a crash course on it. That shocked me, I had no idea there were actual classes for that kind of thing. But it was fun, I didn't have any complaints. Everything we did was still within the boundaries of our marriage, no third parties involved. Our relationship got better, but my concern didn't go away. She loved every new thing we tried, but the happiness never lasted. She got bored again quickly and constantly needed something new, like an addiction. The initial dose that made her happy wasn't enough anymore. After a year of this, I was out of ideas and on the verge of giving up. We kept going with all the stuff I mentioned, and things got wild. During a romantic trip to a tropical island, we came across a bunch of massage centers. Something felt off about them. First, they offered erotic massages. Second, the identities of the masseuses and masseurs were kept confidential. Helena got curious and kept pushing me to try it at least once, saying it was part of the local culture. But trust me, it wasn't. The next day, we gave it a try. I went into a private booth and a woman in a bikini was waiting for me. I lay down and she started massaging my back, literally lying on top of me. I could feel her forehead pressing against my back. Then she asked me if I wanted her to take off her clothes. I panicked and said no. I asked her to stop. Honestly, I thought it was some kind of scam or a trap for clueless tourists. I got dressed as fast as I could and ran out of there. I called Helena, but she didn't pick up. I asked the front desk about her and they said she was still inside enjoying her massage session. I got nervous, not knowing what to do. I saw a guy nearby who looked like another tourist and hesitantly asked him if this was normal, if that's what they did inside. He said yes, they offered all kinds of services, not just massages. Literally anything. He assured me it wasn't a scam or a setup, but warned me that they charged extra for everything else. I was somewhat relieved that Helena wasn't being scammed, but terrified about what might be going on in there. After a few hours, she came out with a huge smile on her face. The young masseur walked her to the front, grinning and chatting with her like he was flirting. Helena looked absolutely thrilled. As we walked away, she asked how my session went. I asked her if she knew what really happened inside those rooms. She rolled her eyes and said, "Yes, I knew." I asked her if she enjoyed it, and she smiled and said yes. She said it was funny, the masseur was really good at his job, and she wanted more. I asked what else had happened, and she told me it was just a regular erotic massage with some tongue action. She made it sound like it was totally normal. That's how we got into the game of real exploration. We got back home, and she wouldn't stop talking about the benefits of the massage. I told her I was fine with a spa and a regular massage like we used to do all the time, but not with that erotic vibe. Still, she managed to convince me to try a couple's massage just once. After some resistance, I agreed to give it a try. We hired a professional massage therapist to come to our house, and we went through with it. She was thrilled and full of energy during that phase. Our relationship truly blossomed. I felt like we were newlyweds again, completely infatuated with each other. That lasted for a few months, but, as usual, her excitement faded faster than I expected. One day, she came up to me and said, "You know, couples in open marriages are the ones who live happily ever after because they're bound by love, not by restrictions." Eventually, she came right out and said we should have an open marriage. Obviously, I lost it. She started showing me all these research articles backing up her claim. We already had professionals involved, threesomes, BDSM, and all that. Now she said she wasn't into professionals anymore and wanted to try it with regular people. She showed me tons of couples who were into partner swapping and claimed they had long, happy marriages. I still wasn't convinced. But I suggested we try it with one of those married couples and see how it went. She promised she'd stop if I ever felt uncomfortable. I agreed to give it a shot. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't bad. I actually liked it. But it felt like doing something illegal. It gives you pleasure, you enjoy it, you feel high, but when you wake up the next morning, you're left with this bitter taste and a sense of emptiness. Eventually, we got into all kinds of partner swapping, casual hookups, and so on. And every time it was the same story, just this once, and then we're done. But that went on for more than 2 or 3 years. That's when she suggested we should try it separately instead of always doing it together. At first, I go silent after each hookup, but later I just stopped thinking about it. Maybe everything happened so fast that I couldn't process it, I just kept going alone. And yeah, our relationship actually got stronger in some ways. We didn't fight, and I was glad we had a few ground rules: no emotional cheating, never do it at our home, and no secrets. If either of us caught feelings for someone else, we'd stop seeing that person. About a year ago, I met a woman named Luna. And she had the vibe I'd been looking for. Yeah, before I go on, let me just say my number of casual hookups was way lower than hers. Women usually have it easier when it comes to finding men. Helena even set up a dating profile for me, but my issue was that I was looking for people with a similar mindset. Most people on those platforms just wanted action, no connection. So eventually, I stopped trying. Back to Luna, we met at work. She had just gotten out of a relationship and was single at the time. She was hired as a contractor to help me with a short-term project. Over the course of a year, we connected professionally, and eventually, I told her about my relationship. She was surprised at how open-minded Helena and I were. We started meeting outside of work, and yes, we started a physical relationship. But the problem was, I was getting emotionally attached, not just in bed. I wanted to see her outside of work. I stopped talking to other women, and even when someone approached me, I'd avoid it. My relationship with Helena wasn't going well. Even though we lived under the same roof, we were living in different worlds. Sure, we were there for each other when we needed a partner, but the love was fading slowly. Before meeting Luna, there were moments when I wanted out. I even told Helena we were tired of all of this and maybe we should go back to a monogamous relationship. But she wasn't ready. She kept saying everything was fine and that we were still young, we hadn't explored enough yet. After I met Luna, I stopped complaining to Helena. A few months in, I realized I was truly getting attached to Luna, which meant I was emotionally cheating on Helena. So, I sat down with her and told her everything. She lost it. She said it was a huge mistake and told me I had to stop immediately. I tried to fight it, but she gave me an ultimatum, her or Luna. I chose my marriage. And slowly, I started distancing myself from Luna. She understood the coldness in me and pulled away too. So, Luna's contract was about to end, and she left the office. I felt alone again, experiencing more than just anger and frustration toward Helena. This wasn't the life I wanted. A week ago, I was sitting in the living room while Helena was in the shower. Her phone was buzzing, and out of curiosity, I picked it up to take a quick look before she got out. We never checked each other's phones. I mean, we both knew what the other was doing. But when I saw messages from someone saved as future, I opened the chat, and that's when I found out she was in a full-on relationship with this man. The most shocking part? She was planning to divorce me, and he was planning to divorce his wife too. It sent chills down my spine. I searched through other chats but didn't find anything else. She wasn't talking to or meeting up with anyone else, just him. Looking at the timeline, I realized they'd been together for over a year, even back when I confessed to her about Luna. She swore she loved this man, and still, she told me nothing. At home, she asked me to end things with Luna. I wanted to confront her right then and there, but by that point, I already felt like the fool in the story, the cheated one, and I felt nothing. So I just put the phone back where it was and pretended nothing had happened. Helena and I were practically strangers living in the same house. It's been a week since I found out, and I don't feel angry anymore, just the deep sting of betrayal. I'm in a full-on existential crisis. What have I done with my life? I don't even want to face her, I just want to disappear from all this. I have a therapy appointment scheduled, but that's still 4 days away. I also have other things to take care of, but none of it can happen before I let my emotions out, and that's why I'm here now. I recognize that I'm the one responsible for my unhappiness. And now, I have to live with that. Update 1. I knew I'd be called a fool, weak, and a bunch of other names. Maybe the comments from strangers don't hurt as much as your wife's betrayal. I've attended 2 therapy sessions so far, and they've helped clear my mind. Basically, I had 2 options: face the situation and cause a huge drama, or quietly sort out my issues before they got worse. I chose the second one. I pulled my money out of our joint account. I wanted to switch jobs to avoid running into Helena, and I explained this to my boss. He mentioned there was an opening in another branch in a nearby city. I accepted without hesitation. There was still the issue of the divorce Helena wanted, and my plan was simply to ignore her. My boss expressed his support but said he'd prefer not to get more involved. As for the infidelity, emotional cheating isn't legally recognized where I live, and cheating in general isn't penalized, but it can influence alimony decisions. Someone in the community warned me that a good lawyer can make all the difference when it comes to paying or not paying spousal support. So, I hired one of the best lawyers in the city. It was expensive, but I believe it'll be worth it. He assured me that, due to Helena's good income, I won't have to pay alimony. She also requested to be removed as the beneficiary from all my legal documents and insurance that's still being processed. That's it for now. Thanks again for the amazing support. I appreciate all the comments, whether they're kind or critical. Update 2. This time, I have a major update. As I mentioned in my last post, almost everything had been taken care of. Before filing the divorce papers, I thought about several ways to shatter her illusion, but when the moment came, all I wanted was peace. I just wanted to walk away quietly, so that's exactly what I did. While she was at work, I packed my things and moved out, leaving the signed divorce papers on the table along with my lawyer's contact info and a note that said, "I saved you time and money by preparing the divorce papers myself. Here they are. Be happy." By the time she came home and found the documents, I was already settling into my new apartment in the neighboring city. My boss had helped me transfer to another office, and I found a place nearby. I didn't tell many people about the move, just my brother, my parents, and yes, someone else special. I'll get to that in a moment. Helena tried to contact me, but I blocked her on every platform. I could still see her calls and voicemails piling up in the blocked messages folder. I knew she would understand my silence. Then I got a call from her brother, my college friend who had actually introduced me to Helena. I didn't get it at first. He left a voicemail yelling, demanding I talk to Helena. He said, "How dare you ignore my sister because of your lust?" He even threatened to come find me, wherever I was. Absurd. I opened some of Helena's messages and found out she was accusing me of cheating on her with someone else. That hit a nerve. She was trying to save her reputation while sabotaging mine. Instead of taking her calls, I sent screenshots of her conversations with her lover, the ones where they discussed divorcing me. Her brother replied, "Can we talk? I don't understand what you two are doing." I told him I didn't want to get into it over the phone and asked if he could meet me in the afternoon. He came over, calm. I told him I didn't want to involve him, being her brother, but gave him a short version of what had happened, no gory details, just enough for him to understand. Shocked by his sister's involvement, he asked about the other person. I told him I had distanced myself because I didn't want to complicate things. He didn't fully take my side, but he didn't blame me either. He said he was torn and didn't know what to think. I told him I understood and that he didn't have to choose sides. He asked if I was serious about the divorce. I said yes, and that Helena had been planning it behind my back anyway, so it was best for us to part ways peacefully. Final update. After the meeting with Helena's brother, he clarified the situation to their parents. Apparently, Helena and her parents had been blaming me for interfering in her life. But then he revealed the whole truth, and eventually, she admitted everything too. He sent me a message himself and apologized. Helena had tried to involve her parents and brother to get a better divorce settlement, but they all left her to deal with the consequences on her own. She demanded a large alimony payment, but my lawyer stood his ground. Since she was earning a very good salary, he ensured she wouldn't receive a cent from me. After a lot of back and forth, the divorce was finalized. I haven't heard from her since last week. Her brother called me during the divorce process. Even afterward, he would send me the occasional message just to ask how I was doing. We never discussed Helena. But this time, he brought up the other person. First, he asked me about her. Honestly, I downplayed my feelings and said I still wasn't sure. Then he told me that Helena's situation had worsened and that her lover had to take her to therapy. Her lover left her. In an emotional outburst, he told her he couldn't trust her. He had promised Helena he would divorce his wife as soon as our divorce was finalized, but in the end, he abandoned her. I don't know if his wife ever found out about all this. Helena probably never tried to reach out to her. I'm sure that if she could, she would have tried to ruin his life too after the betrayal, but I don't know anything about that and didn't ask her brother. As for me, I've been settling in well in this new city. I got a new car and set up my place. It's nothing fancy, but it's cozy and feels like home. Oh, and yes, I forgot to give details about the other person in my last update. So, yes, Luna and I are together now. We reconnected shortly after I moved. It was a relief for both of us to finally talk openly about everything that had happened. I told her about my separation and how I was starting a new life. She was understanding and supportive, which gave me a sense of security and hope that I hadn't felt in a long time. Our relationship has been growing naturally and sincerely. We've spent a lot of time together exploring the new city, discovering new places, and just enjoying each other's company. She's been a constant and encouraging presence, helping me rediscover who I am and what I truly want in life. Lately, we've started talking about the future, something I never thought I'd do again so soon. We're thinking of taking a trip together, maybe to a peaceful beach where we can relax and enjoy each other's company without distractions. We're also considering moving in together down the line, but we're taking things slow and enjoying every moment. As for Helena, I haven't had any direct news from her. I know from her brother that she's still dealing with the consequences of her choices. She's in therapy and seems to be trying to rebuild herself. I honestly wish her the best. I don't hold any more resentment, I just want to move forward with my life. My friends and family have been an incredible support throughout this whole process. I've stayed in touch with my brother and my parents, who have always encouraged me to seek happiness and peace. They were happy to hear I'm starting a new chapter with someone else and have given me all the support I needed. My new life is a mix of rebuilding and rediscovery. I've learned a lot about myself in these past few months. I realized that happiness isn't about settling for what's expected, it's about pursuing what truly brings joy and meaning. And most importantly, I've learned that it's possible to start over, no matter how difficult or complicated things may seem. I'm going to keep chasing the happiness and peace I deserve, and I hope all of you do the same.
Reddit Relics comment. This story shows that even in the middle of chaos and pain, it's possible to start over and find peace. The way the OP handled everything, with dignity, patience, and a focus on himself, is truly inspiring. Sometimes, the best revenge is simply moving on and finding happiness. What did you think of this journey? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you liked the video, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next wild Reddit tale. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.